Good evening, fellow Aleph Guardians. I am Juef and joined here by Diabetes the second for the long-awaited presentation reveal of the groups and the flags for the week 4 of the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Winter League 2026 edition. How are you doing tonight, Diabetes?
Oh, I'm doing really well. Glad to have you here in the booth with me. We've had another great week of racing, our first positional week. Very excited to see what the results have yielded and what we have to look forward to in the weeks coming ahead.
Yes, the races were fun to watch, fun to play. Many of them were very close, and the endings were very exciting. I hope all of you found that as well. And trust us, the rest of the Winter League is not going to get any less exciting. So, without further ado, here are the Week 3 results. And bam, there you go. Of course, these results have been available as we watch the races play on the DW Randomizer channel, but it's always a nice, uh, refreshing screen to see everything all at once. Every group, every first place, every uh, players who are maybe some. Um, oh, I'm forgetting the word. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, we had a lot of great races this week, a lot of interesting results. Again, reminder that this was a positional week, so we're seeing groups that basically coming into this week, everyone was 1 to 4, 5 through 8, 9 through 12, and so on, all throughout the standings here. So great opportunities for players who were already in great positions to really cement themselves into a very solid position to make the playoffs, and then opportunities as well on the bottom side for them to make a statement, move up into the middle of the pack, and then maybe make a run here in weeks 4 and 5. Do any of these results stand out for you as either surprising or interesting or anything like that?
I don't know. I would say the top ones I can't be surprised by anything because all of the top groups are great players, and one has to finish first and one has to finish last. So it doesn't mean much. I guess the players themselves might have things to say about these races, but I can't say I'm surprised. The bottom races and the middle races, I don't know. The groups felt pretty balanced to me, of course, which makes sense given that it's a positional round. I Nothing particularly stands out to me, but maybe you have some things in mind.
I do have a couple. I mean, number one, we have to pay attention to Group 1. These four runners came into this week having won their first 2 weeks' races, all sitting at 10 points. So only one could walk away with the trifecta, and that person this week was Judge Joe, newcomer to the Winter League. So the cheese stands alone, as it were, at 15 points, which we'll see momentarily, taking down Aaron Zatrex Nartorius. So fantastic performance here from Judge Joe in what was a very entertaining race. So Judge Joe, again, not guaranteed technically, but very, very likely secured a spot in the playoffs with this performance. So kudos to Judge Joe on that.
Yeah, and diabetes. Aaron in chat mentioning that Judge Joe, as well as other winners we'll see in further groups, is on his very first Winter League. Actually, I believe very first Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournament, which is very impressive. It is not easy to win a race when it's your first participation in such a tournament, and now winning the Group 1 is nothing short of amazing.
Yep, and chat reminding us as well, a 93 HP Dragonlord fight in that victory as well for Judge Joe. So very impressive. Very difficult to navigate those, but the numbers worked and came out with the victory. Another one that I think kind of highlights a similar phenomenon was here in Group 7, we have NG Dave taking the dub in this one as well. Again, securing 5 points, moving up toward the middle of the pack and potentially into a playoff contention spot. Again, another newcomer for DWR in the Winter League, so good to see that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Those 5 points will propel anyone up towards the top. And with two races left, of course, nobody's out yet, I believe, or very nearly not. Um, it is looking good for anyone who finished first this week for sure.
Yep, so congratulations again to all of this week's winners. Certainly that will have significant impacts when we take a look here momentarily at the standings. And for those who didn't do as well, again, we still have 2 more weeks of regular season play. Try to get up to that like 15, 16 point mark and hopefully try to sneak into the playoffs. Once you get into the top 16, anything can happen.
And here's the current standings after 3 weeks: two random groups and one group with uh, position players. We have the cutoff at around 9 right now, some of which are above and some of which are under that threshold right now. Of course, there are things that will happen by the end of the 5 weeks if there are still ties. But at the moment, around 9 point is where you want to be. So Jojo at the very top, the only player winning all three of his races so far.
Yeah, 15 points looking pretty good in the catbird seed right there. But again, I think mathematically speaking, technically, nobody has clinched, nobody is eliminated, but obviously on both ends of the spectrum, things would have to happen in very, very specific ways here after 3 weeks in order for certain people to miss the playoffs and others to make them. But we'll see what the next 2 weeks brings. Again, I'm sure there's going to be lots of fantastic racing. I see a lot of names I'm expecting in the top 16 currently, a few that perhaps not. Again, some new names in the mix, and then some that are currently on the outside looking in. I think the big one right there that a lot of people were expecting would take his traditional spot near the top of the list. Angel FM right now sitting in what would be a tie-breaking position. Again, reminder that the top 16 make the playoffs. The only scenario that we're really dealing with outside of like frame perfect ties in actual races is if the top 16 has a tie that includes anyone beyond that, they will go into a tiebreaker race to determine who makes the playoffs and who doesn't. Other veterans that are in the mix as well, just on the outside looking in. We have Jake Coper, we've got Chadbert, we've got Zarnax, we've got Mand. So there's a number of people that are just outside the playoffs currently looking to make their way in, and then some that are on the bottom side of that top 16 that need to do a little bit more work to secure themselves moving forward.
Absolutely, it is not over. One player that I expect to be trying to get up there is EMP, who has finished second place in the Vexillologist tournament last winter. So he is used to many of those flags, those new flags that we are using in the current Winter League. So uh, anything can happen next 2 weeks.
No, absolutely. And again, this upcoming this upcoming week, we'll have randomized groups once more. But once it gets to week 5 and you get back once again into those positional groups, you're not going to be necessarily fighting against people that are significantly higher or significantly lower than you in the standings. So there's going to be some races, especially in the middle of the pack, that it's going to be one person or two people advance, and whoever finishes second, third, or fourth might not. So those are going to be all important moving forward. Speaking,
Absolutely.
go ahead.
Competition, I was just gonna say competition is gonna be very fierce, but especially in the right around the threshold for making the playoffs.
And speaking of moving forward, let's take a look at what we have in store for week 4.
Week 4 is titled Gotta Love Chaos because you can't have a Winter League without some kind of chaos flag set. This is it. Chaos, for those who are not aware, is pretty much a set of flags that will change the monster stats and make their abilities change as well. So some enemies, like a slime, could be a spike tile hitting you for 100 damage when you have Erdrick's armor, or you could have a red dragon run from you when you're level 2.
Yeah, chaos. I mean, it says gotta love chaos. That might be a bit of a misnomer, at least when I'm, at least when I'm involved. But regardless, but yeah, again, a lot of that chaos stuff. No surprises there. I think the big ones are where we start to get into the middle of the list here. Random spell MP costs. This is a new one for the Juef fork of the randomizer, so all of the spells that you learn throughout the game, instead of being their traditional values, will cost some random amount between, I believe, 1 and 8 MP. So depending on, I would probably say, especially how Heal More and Hurt More roll, those could both have a tremendous impact on not only how the seed proceeds, but also what the end game decisions may be. So I expect some interesting strategies, perhaps, depending on what those numbers turn out to be.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm very much looking forward to a race where a player will finish and defeat the Dragon Lord with 25 heal mores left in the tank. The only way to know how much MP these spells are gonna cost is by casting them. So when you learn a new spell, make sure you check that out.
Yeah, again, this is another one like we're kind of expecting and thinking in terms of, what if heal more and hurt more roll very low, but you also think about it the other side of things is like what if stop spell or sleep or hurt or heal roll high? All of a sudden those utility spells become a lot more costly to consider casting. So might have to think about, do I really want to cast Stop Spell on the Stone Man to get away if it has a nasty ability, or do I really need Stop Spell on this random, Red Dragon or Armored Knight that has a spooky ability? So we'll see exactly how all that pans out with that flag in particular. Outside of that, we also have very fast leveling speed, of course, combined with the random XP requirements. We're still not going to know what those levels are going to be, but at least theoretically, they should be on a slightly shorter XP curve, so hopefully not too many or any 10,000 XP required levels. We know how chaos can be. But hopefully not too many of those. And then we bring in Tri-State Summer Sale at 12.5%. So Tri-State, when it comes to Summer Sale, involves individual rolls for each piece of equipment that's available, as opposed to it's just on or off for the entire seed, as most other flags are. And in particular, only 12.5% of the equipment available, which I believe equates to just 2 items, will actually have a discount associated. So it might not have a huge impact, but it depends on which pieces of equipment roll down, I think.
Yeah, you might get lucky and get a bunch of gear that is for sale and for a very low price, but you might also get unlucky, and the only items that are for sale are the bamboo pole and the club.
And continuing on there, treasure guards are enabled this week. I believe this does exclude the overworld coordinates. I don't think that one's stated up here specifically, but we've been trying to keep that on to make sure that accidentally stumbling over something important doesn't happen. That can kind of mess with the seed a little bit, but treasure guards, so no free lunch, as it were. And then random key and herb carry. What's that?
It was used in a week, in an earlier week. Basically, you usually can carry up to 6 keys and herbs, but now those numbers are randomized. You can carry from 0 to 9 herbs. So yes, it is possible that you can't buy or pick up any single herb. Keys will always have a minimum of 2 with this flag set, as you need to carry some to enter the back of Garenham or to rescue the princess or things like that. So you might be lucky and be able to carry a bunch of them or fewer than usual, which might help or make the seed more difficult.
And then wrapping up the flag set here, 2 flags that we've seen previously. A little memey, some a little bit quality of life or anti-quality of life. We have the NPC guillotine, talk to an NPC and they'll disappear if they're a moving NPC and they're in your way. And then, of course, the random town entrances. When you enter a town, you will be somewhere around the perimeter in a predictable number of places, but, maybe you're in the southwest of Remolder and you gotta talk to Orwick's girlfriend and walk all the way around to get keys. We'll see. But that'll be in place as well this week. Again, remember that you cannot enter the back of Garenham that way. That's the only real restriction here.
Yes, Taintigel also always has the vanilla entrance. You can't enter and be right around the keys and the basement. So it's just a little something to throw people off when they enter the towns. They just gotta realize where they are and what path is the best to go where they want to go.
So indeed a Chaos flag set, no surprises there, but again, with a few things that are going to make this a little bit different than what we've done in past years. So uh, maybe this will make me love Chaos. Who knows?
I'll take the challenge.
It's gonna take a lot to make me love chaos, not gonna lie. But hey, you know what? That's what we play the seeds for. That's why we mix it up every year when it comes to Winter League. We want to keep it a little fresh and maybe find some accidental gold and not just for a gold grind. So hopefully this one turns out nicely for everybody.
Yeah, I would gladly gold grind a flag set.
All right, now we've been yapping for a few minutes here. I know that what everyone's here to see is what is up next. We have the week 4 group assignments. Once more, these are random groups, no rematches from weeks 1 and 2. You may see some rematches between people who faced each other in week 3 because those were positional. So here we go.
Group 1, Miplet, Zatrex 17, Chris, and myself. So the two 17s in the same group. That's a very interesting one. I can't wait to race these runners. All very good, all very knowledgeable.
In group 2, we've got Big Slamoo, Synth, Sassage Link, and Night Dew. Lots of S's in group 2. Even a big S.
Group 3, we have Kigalis, Tybalt, yourself, Diabetes the Second, and Old Vampire Lady. Very interesting. Some newer players, some more veterans. That is a very mixed bag of players here, and I love it, and I can't wait to see them run.
The longest and second longest names in the same group. Nice. I'm sure this won't break the title of the stream. It will. We'll have to fix it. And then group 4, we have Zarnex 42, Sonny Wrath 11, Ryguy 3745, and Quinn Patrick. Again, we got some veterans. We got some people who play lots of other randomizers and other games in general. This one should be another fantastic group.
Yeah, fantastic and even a bit scary, I would say. Group 5, Yako Wako 20, Oog 37, Edge, and EMP. All pretty much veteran runners, and they know what they're doing, and they all, I believe, want to fight for their points. So that is going to be very exciting to watch.
And then in group 6, we've got Jake Hoper, IC10As, Silly Dabbit, and our current number 1 seed, Judge Joe. Judge Joe the newcomer, and a lot of veterans who've made some fireworks happen in the past. This is going to be another fantastic group.
Group 7, Angel FM, Dweem, Cyberdark 86, and Sandcraft. All very known names in the community, very scary names. And again, this is going to be a very interesting one to watch. All of these players, I believe, are not currently in the top 16, so they will also want to grab that first place.
And now our groups of 3. In group 8, we've got Chadbert, Destiny of a Dragon Warrior, and Beta. This is an interesting group of 3. I don't know who wants to be in the group of 3 with the other 2, but this is definitely one of them.
Group 9, Zillinor, Aaron2U2, and Angie Dave. Oh, those are scary names. All very great players, at the very least, according to the current standings. So this is another short but very deathly group.
And last but not least, we've got Group 10, Mand, Ziggy, and Artorias. Again, all 3 of these groups of 3, I really don't want to be in any of them. They seem all very competitive, so another solid group there in Group 10.
Yep, but competitive groups is fun races, I would say.
Again, looking at the full complement of groups for this week, I think we've highlighted the ones that already kind of are standing out to us for a couple of different reasons. We talked or briefly mentioned Group 7 here with Angel, Dweem, Cyberdark, and Sandcraft. None of these 4, I believe, are in the top 16, looking to get some points and maybe secure a good and favorable matchup for Week 5 to give them a good chance to make the playoffs. That one stands out to me for sure. And as I said, I think all of the groups of 3 are fantastic groups, very evenly balanced and very difficult groups as well. Any others stand out to you?
A lot of them. They all stand out for different reasons. I would say Group 4 and 5 stand out because I feel these players all are all pretty much of at a level that is in the same range. I would say they any of them could finish first, and I would not be surprised. Same for Group 5. They all very good, of course, and I feel they've won races against each other one way or another in the past few years. It's gonna be. I feel it's gonna be very very close.
So there indeed are your group assignments for week 4. As always, after the reveal show is concluded here, we will be sorting you and getting you into your groups. Please contact your opponents and share your availabilities as quickly as possible so that we give everyone the best chance to actually schedule their races. Again, asyncs can and must happen in certain circumstances, but if we get everybody communicating early, hopefully we can minimize those as much as possible. It's just great for everyone, for admin, for viewers, for players, if they can actually get their races done live and in person. So that would be the best.
Yes, and as a reminder, as best as you can, try to get your races scheduled as early as possible. It is best for volunteers. It is best for the calendar, so everyone can reserve and keep a spot on their own calendar to make sure they watch those exciting races.
And speaking of volunteers as well, we appreciate everyone who's come out and helped us out, especially this week. We had a couple people dedicate a lot of time to us this week, but we would certainly welcome anyone else who is available for restreaming, for broadcasting on the commentary booth or in the tracker position as well. If you can click some buttons and talk a little bit, we would be more than happy to have you. We've been trying to make a conscious effort to get these schedules out early and take volunteers early so everyone knows when races are happening and whether they're going to be covered live or not. So let us know if you're interested and available. If you haven't volunteered before, reach out to one of the tourney admin in the Discord and we'll get you all set up.
Yes, always happy to have you in any of these volunteer roles. And if not, well, we're happy to have you in chat. Looking forward to see everyone soon again this week during races and or otherwise. And I hope you all have a great week.
Yep, I think that's going to wrap it up for us here on the Week 4 Reveal Show. Thanks again to everybody, volunteers, viewers, runners alike from the admin staff. Look forward again to your group assignments here coming momentarily. Good luck to everybody this week, and happy racing. Take care. Have a good night.